joined here today by Mr. James Dowdy. Right, and this is the FreakSneaks, if I'm not mistaken.
Welcome everybody.
What gave you that idea for the name, first and foremost?
It's actually a name my friends, they used to rap. Like we had back in the day, I guess before everybody was like, what we were just talking about, everybody wanted to be a rapper, but I could never rap. So my friend all them raps. I was like, well, let's try to make something together. Like I just handle all y'all stuff about, trying to get shows booked, or features and collaborations and all that. Y'all just do what y'all do. So we ended up working, and one night they was in the studios, and one of my friends just called me Freaky D, like in the song. So it just started to stick, and it just started to go from the Freaky D to just Freak. And then, I was thinking of a name when I was trying to start my business, and I was just like, I was trying to think of something creative. And everybody, it's a lot of creative shoe names out there. And so they were like, man, how you come up with this? So I just like, man, FreakSneaks. I just said it when I like this. As soon as I said it out loud, I was like, yeah, I like this.
What is your earliest memory of a sneaker, and who do you attribute your love of the sneaker game to?
Michael Jordan, like just seeing him, like he the one made me notice like everybody, cause I fell in love like that's love, but it kind of just came from being a fan of sports, love basketball, love football. So just seeing, starting to get into it, you get older, you start seeing, then, he started coming out with the different colorways. And I think for me, actually, kids, like the younger generation, they didn't actually get to see him play. So like
that's me. Even though I'm not the youngest generation, I want to be clear. I'm in my 20s.
Right.
Last of the 90s. That's me. But I did not get to see him. I saw him with the Wizards for one game, but that's it.
And it was just like, even though you got to see him then, like it was still Michael Jordan, but like just with the Bulls, it was like he was like a superhero almost, like on the court. He's like he don't lose, like only superheroes win all the time.
Yeah,
so
that's real.
Yeah, it was crazy. So that's how it all started.
Is there any specific pair that you remember, like, yeah, I gotta have that one? That's the one colorway, that's the one of Michael Jordan.
The Concord 11, favorite shoe all time. Like I seen it and I just got goosebumps when I saw it. I was like, oh man,
the patent leather.
Yeah, they are, and I think that may be arguably his most famous people, other than the one is the most famous.
Right.
I think that's probably
the
culturally,
11s.
Yeah, because like when I was growing up, before all the collaborations, like the 11s were like the top of the pyramid. Like before, we had all kind of the culture clash with shoes, and it got to be like, well, Travis Scott's and Drake's and all that. It was just
even before that, you could go. You had the Reeboks, and then you had the clashes within the different brands.
Right. I think what Jay-Z was the first one started with the Sean Carter's and the Reeboks. So he kind of started it, and it just kind of like everybody just took off. But I don't think he get enough credit for that, because like now, Travis Scott is like anything that he put his name on, you never see a Travis Scott shoe sitting on the shade. And that's amazing. But it's like Jay-Z, I think 50 Cent, if I'm not mistaken, started with the G units with Reebok. Okay. So I think they came out at the same time. Right. They were at the same time. I think Jay-Z was the first one, if I'm not mistaken. That was 9th grade, if I'm not mistaken.
See, for me, I think about, so first and foremost, you talked about the 11s. I think about Space Jam. Space Jam, I used to say as a joke, Space Jam is my favorite documentary of all time.
Right.
Now, obviously, he had that documentary. So we ain't gonna speak on The Last Dance. But that being said, when that came out as a kid, for me, I watched it for the first time in 5th grade. Remember, when I'm watching it in 5th grade, keep in mind, I'm not really the biggest basketball player. I'm not really a football player at that point. And to me, that's what kind of got me interested outside of the game of basketball. This is a guy who is an entrepreneur. And obviously, at that point, he was retired. I knew that, So that was a given. But at that point, that had never been done. And now we see it with LeBron, we see it with the next generation, and I'm just excited to see what continues to come with that. But getting back on track, when did you go from collector to reseller, or has that always just been a part of your game?
Nah, like I never resold a pair of shoes until like 2014. Like I just always, it was always about the hunt. I gotta find this, I gotta find that, because when I bought my first pair probably like maybe 2001 when my first job, saved up a little money because I was trying to build a car too, so I saved up a little money. First thing I did, bought me some Jordans. Me and my friends, like we all waited like, it was two, but we all waited till we got enough money, and like this was Jordan would sit on the shelf like any time of the day you can go get them, and we went and got them, and we was like, man, we felt like we was like. That was it. Like we felt like we was.
Actually though, it's like you stand in line and all that. Yeah, exactly.
It was crazy. So it was crazy, but that's how it just kind of turned. The hobby kind of turned into a business. So
how did you get started at this specific venue, and what has been some of the challenges and highlights of working here?
It was the weekend after Mother's Day. And everything, it was surprising. Everything went smooth. Like I couldn't believe I noticed when you do things like venture out and try new things, you have a lot of speed bumps that may occur, and it's just like, man, I wasn't expecting. But everything, with the blessing of God, went super smooth. Like everything went good. I was able to have enough inventory. I was able to, I did all the work myself, hanging shelves, paint with my sons and my nephews, and my friends. They helped me move and get stuff going. But like, it was and my wife, of course, but. It was good. It actually went surprisingly smooth. I was a little nervous coming in the stretch. I was like, dang, I ain't had nothing like just Jurassic kind of go left, and it just kind of fit like a glove.
Shoes and kind of how they became a part of your culture specifically, and your lifestyle. But where are you from, and how would that kind of like coincide?
I'm from Athens, Georgia, UGA. It's like when I tell people I'm from Athens, it's my go-to, because if they don't know what a UGA is, I'm like, but that's where we from. Like, I went to Cedar, so just my growing up, like it was, you had to have the Jordans. Like other shoes were cool, but the top like Jordans, like, and then if you could get them like the day they come out and you come to school, that was like the biggest flex like ever. Like, or you missed school early and your parents was like just down with it.
Allegedly,
you might have had a doctor's appointment the same day the shoes come out.
Exactly.
So and you come in with them on, that was like it. But it was other shoes too like that. Reeboks was cool, and like when I was in school, it's gonna sound like a long time ago, but Fila they were making a crazy comeback. Fila were crazy. You had Reebok Classic still had a lot of. Air Force One hadn't quite shook the world up.
That was the Nelly era.
But it was like you had a lot of different things, and Air Force One was still cool, but they just didn't have like the global notoriety that the other ones, had. But so it was a lot of different ones. But if you had Jordans on, like that was like, people like, oh, your parents got some money because you got Jordans on.
That's really how it was. And like when I was coming up, so I was born and raised on a military base in Germany. Right. So like for us, we got the shoes at the same time as the States, but at the same time, we didn't have the people, waiting in line. Well, maybe a little bit. I will say, just a little disclaimer, my mom did wait in line for me while I took the ACTs for the re-release of the Jordan 11 Space Jams, but I digress.
Right. Allegedly.
No, she did. I was not there. I took my ACT. I don't know what I made. Don't fact check me on that. But now you got people paying for bots. You got people, paying way over resale, like more so than even before. And what has been your advice to those who are trying to break into this industry as both a consumer as well as reseller?
Well, I got just the perfect word for both. Be patient, because if you actively in the culture of the shoes and you following and you checking the sites and you running into people, and just be patient, because a lot of times you might jump the gun and buy something expensive and then you kind of regret it. But it's also a double-edged sword. Sometimes you can buy something you like, I got it for a good price and it skyrocketed. But I just be patient and just kind of do your research on it. And that's even trying to start a business. Don't try to have like the hottest shoe store your first day of your ever trying it. Just let it kind of grow and morph into what it can possibly turn out. Because you don't, when you first start something, it's hard to know the exact direction of that it might turn into. You might know where you want to go, but you might not know how you might plan on going by car, and the business may take you by plane. So you just got to be patient and try to just be patient, and don't try to move too fast, and don't try to make it to what you see your finished product in the beginning. Just kind of let it grow.
Yeah, I would say when it comes to shoes especially, patience saves pockets, right?
That's it. That's what I always
Whenever
say.
you're trying to do something, it's not about investing just your dollar, but it's about investing your attention and your time. Every single time. Consistency is the key. And if you don't like your results, change your approach.
Yeah.
But you have to divest yourself a little. Now that it's officially fall, what has been your go-to shoe for the fall fits and the fall drip, so to speak?
Well, to me, it's looking like, well, my personal, I wear just different things. Sometimes
I couldn't tell. I'm messing with you.
Sometimes just how I'm feeling. Like if I know I'm gonna have a long day, I've been on my feet a lot. Like the last couple days, I just throw my foam runners on my slides, my Crocs. But if I'm going out, it's probably gonna transition from like the summertime you kind of want to wear loud colors and the bright colors, the whites and all that. So the wintertime you kind of go into the sweatpants and the so it all just depends. I let the weather kind of just determine how I'm feeling. But I think for for the people just consuming, I think it's just gonna still be the dunks. They're just probably gonna go with the fall colors, the olives, the browns, the kind of darker reds and the more fall colors. So I think they just dunks have dominated the last about year and a half of the shoe game, and they don't look like it's slowing down anytime soon.
Which is crazy to me. I always thought that the dunks were like a skater shoe.
It was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was never big. I'm all basketball shoe all the time. I mean, I did the Air Forces. Okay, well, that's fine. No judgment to anybody downtown wearing the Air Forces. But that being said, what's been your favorite sneaker release of the year so far, and why?
Favorite of the year so far, probably the Jordan 7 Citrus. I had to make a decision. It was like 2006. I want to say these came out 2006. The last time this colorway came out.
Yeah.
And I was at the mall and they came out, and my white girlfriend, she was going to prom, so I went there to get my tux, and I was like. Yeah, I was like, I got a decision to make. It really wasn't a decision where me and my friend, we both wore a size 12. They both had our size, but we both was going to prom, and we was like, damn. And it's like, couldn't have gotten it times in the past, but it's just kind of like, sometimes like I see so many shoes, so my attention is just like all over the place with shoes, and some of them that you miss, you just kind of hope you run across it. But this one is it's just because I remember going back and I was like, when I saw it in the store, it just felt like all over again back in 2006.
Sneaker games much, especially this year. So for me, I've just been big on the foams, kind of like you were saying earlier. I got my one pair of foams. I don't know what they're called. Sorry, Kanye. You got a lot going on right now, buddy. But it's to me a comfort thing. It's a basketball practicality thing. I don't hoop for real. I'm not a hooper, but I'm always on the courts. And so for me, I have to wear a shoe that if somebody asks me to, run drills or something like that, I don't want to wear, a shoe that I want to wear downtown. I want to have a scuff, the little things, but genuinely it's about practicality. So the Giannis, there have been a couple colorways with that I try to pick up on.
That's a great shoe.
And we'll keep it at that. I don't know. I'm not going to get into the real collection today. I just gotta. Patience saves pockets. We're gonna keep it light today.
Right, those foam runners, they are, to me, that's probably the most comfortable shoe ever.
And it's crazy because, like, I remember when they came out, they were talking about, it's gonna be made out of seaweed algae or something like that. I'm just like, okay, Kanye, you know what I mean? Okay.
I didn't even like it when I first.
Yeah, me neither.
One of my friends, he was wearing. I was like, they kind of look good, and then I tried them. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a good fit. So we discuss NBA every now and again. This just being media day yesterday, as a time of recording. Which athlete currently playing today with their own signature would you say embodies style and practicality on the court the most out of players currently playing?
Their own signature shoe. I gotta say. Probably LeBron, just over his overall, the body work of his shoes, because I feel like he's kind of transitioned the shoe game as well for his, PEs and stuff like that. So I just feel like from start to finish, he's, him and KD. I love their KD has some of the lightest shoes ever. Yep. They're to me, like, if I play, I probably would change every game, but I definitely would practice in those. Something that's they are very, like, I played basketball in them a few times, and it's like they hug the court. They're just really nice.
Yeah, I saw the LeBron 20s They've got some good colorways.
Yeah,
I might actually pick up on those.
Yeah, things I'm looking for, the Toon Squad ones.
Yeah, no, those
ones,
those are the ones. Those are the ones.
I need those. Yeah, I got to get my hands on those.
Do you have any upcoming events or any sneaker cons, anything you got going on?
Yeah, the remainder of the year, I got 4 events. I'll be in Gwinnett, October 9th. I'll be in Charlotte. And November 12th, I will be in Memphis. And November 19th, I'll be the Hawks. They're doing a collaboration with the Atlanta Sneaker Convention. So
okay.
You do a shoe event, you're a vendor, they'll give you tickets to the game. So I'm gonna try to get tickets so me and my wife and my friends, we can all go to the game, date night. So those will be my last 4. And those are 2 in October and 2 in November. I'll probably take December off just because I know it's gonna be a lot of shopping going on. So
as you should.
We want to try to cater to the holidays. You can't pass up on that.
Okay.
Not my first go around.
Thank you so much, James. FreakSneaks, this has been an English angle. Hope you guys enjoy. And as always, don't do anything I wouldn't do. Make good choices.